So it's nice to eat lunch up in the shop and get going on this project. So here we are. We're gonna take this scrap piece that was cut off of a different fork and use it to trace out a pattern on this piece of scrap wood. And trying to use this piece of wood up, it's gonna have a nice two-tone color to it. Moving on over to the bandsaw, it's important to have the saw clean. It's important to have your dust collection system up and running and good light so you can see. So here I'm just cross-cutting my board, and the piece that's in my left hand is what I'm going to use. It's got two traced out forks on it, so we'll get two forks out of that piece. It's important to take your time. You don't want to rush it because you could risk, cutting a finger off. So here we're doing a side detail of the fork, giving it some contour. That makes it have a nice aesthetic look, and also feels really good in the hand when you're using it. Helps get down in the salad bowl a little better, if you're using it as a salad fork. Now this cut is a little trickier because you're working on the edge, and it's easier to make a mistake. So you really need to use caution when you're cutting on the side of a board, but it can be done. Just take your time. And now we're moving over to the sanding area. I've got my dust collection system up and running. I've got my angle grinder going with a flap disc, and this is probably 80 grit. This is probably an 80 grit flap disc. And I'll tell you, it really takes the material off of the fork fast. And so you got to be careful. You can certainly gouge your workpiece if you apply too much pressure. But once it's roughed out with that, then you can move over to a band sander. This is just a little cheap machine, but it works great. It's got a finer grit sandpaper on it, so I'm able to get in between the prongs of the fork. It's really easy to smooth down the handle. You can roll the material around to get a nice smooth finish, and just kind of showing you where we're at. And now ready for some hand sanding, and I've got this little blue mat on the table, it's just a piece of foam bedroll, and it works really good because you can wrap it over the edge of the table, wrap your sandpaper on there, and you can kind of rub your material across the sandpaper, or you can just use it as a hand rest and to give yourself a little bit of comfort as you're sanding. So here's a rough piece before the flap disc, and here is a fork that is almost finished. Just a couple little places to touch up, and they really turn out nice. And if you use the flap disc, you can turn one of these out pretty quick. Here's a little fork that I made. This is going to be my personal fork at home, and we'll see how it does. I'm excited to try it out. That was a lot of fun too. Made that thing pretty quick. So that's the basic process. Thanks for watching. Here's our finished product. We've got 4 nice salad forks made out of cherry. There's some good contrast in the color there from dark to light. The process is very straightforward. Start at the bandsaw, very carefully cut these out, remove any excess material. Then you can move over to an angle grinder with a flap disc, and that removes material so fast. I mean, it's like one of the best things you can use for sanding down stuff quickly. You can finish it off with some work on the band sander, and then some or the belt sander, and then some work by hand. So if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel, and also consider donating to the Mountain Craftsman at Venmo. That will help me produce more content and keep the videos flowing. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.